Ankita Tiwari from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology from ICT department. I'm going to take a session from the subject that is cyber crimes and mitigation. Subject code is 3163213. The unit that we are going to cover in this session is module 3. Module name is Firewalls. In that we are going to have a session on network based firewalls in that pfSense. So basically we will be going to study what is network based firewalls, also with pfSense software. Now here, first of all, before network based firewalls, we need to have a session, we need to have a look on what is a firewall. So basically, as you can see from the diagram itself, a firewall is a wall-like structure which is connected through LAN and WAN. Now WAN we are talking about means any of the systems or the users which are connected, and LAN means your internet connections that you are using it to chat or through any of the application or anything. So basically it's a wall between the two of the facilities which we are already using it. So as a user it can be as a network also, it can be in any of the form. So basically it can be a software, it can be a hardware, or it can be an add-on package which you can add in your system in order to have the firewall facility. So basically firewall will stop the unauthorized access which is coming into your system, and will restrict the unauthorized access, and will give the protection to the data which is there into your system. So basically we are having host based firewalls and many of the firewalls. So that is what a firewall is. Now moving forward, we are having types of firewall. The first firewall that we have is network firewall, where it will analyze the traffic, network traffic which is there as an unauthorized or as a authorized. Then we have web application firewall, the applications, web apps that we are using it. So web application firewall that we have, we can place it and we can have an authorized data on it. Then we have hardware based firewall, where the hardware based firewalls are made in order to incorporate in your system in order to have the facility of it. Then we have software based, where applications are made which is designed in order to save your data, in order to give you the security. Then we have cloud based firewall, which is using Amazon web services and many AWS services which provide security. Then we have personal computer as well, that is host based, that is Windows. Now after that we have the last, that is mobile firewall, which is in mobile it is being stored. Now whenever we are talking about the firewalls, the topic that we are going to have is many of the types we have it. So here we are going to study about the network based firewalls. Firewall is a bridge that gaps between the unauthorized and the authorized. Okay, so basically networks will be about the traffic. So here network means the firewalls which performs on the network levels and filters all the traffic which is coming and going across over a particular network. So basically it will analyzes the traffic which is authorized or as an unauthorized. So they filter the traffics by checking against the firewall rules and protecting the network. Now as we can say a particular definition, if you want to know that, then a network firewall is usually installed at the network edge and acts as the first layer of protection to block any unwanted traffic which shouldn't be entering the data centers. Data centers can be any of the form, your personal information also it can include. So network firewall basically is being installed at the network edge itself, at the border, where it will act as the first layer which will bifurcate the two of the packets, unauthorized and authorized. So this is what the network firewall is. Now we are having a particular diagram for it, where there is a difference which shows the difference between the network based and host based firewall. As you can see here, network based means it is a wall like structure between the LAN, means the settings which is being connected with the host computers. Okay, there are host computers, and this is what the traffic is with respect to internet. So here the two of the forms will be available, as a legitimate traffic and a non-legitimate traffic. Now when we talk about legitimate, means it is authorized, means you can have access to it. So that network traffic will watch on this, will have a watch on this, and will see whether this legitimate non-legitimate traffic will not be allowed and will go to the host computer. This is what the network traffic, which is connected with different PCs at a particular place. at the border where the traffic will be analyzed. Now, whenever I'm talking about the host base, so as you can see, the host base means at a particular PC itself. In that itself, the firewall has been installed. So this is what the basic difference between network-based firewall and the host-based firewall. Network-based firewall between the two of the walls, where the two walls is connected with the users, and one side as the internet, that is services which the user is using it. So in that, in middle that you are using it, that is network based firewall, where the traffic is being analyzed. Now host based means that a particular machine itself the firewall is being installed, and there itself it is checked whether the non authenticated packets are not gone into the system, or whether it is allowed or not. So basically both are the different types of firewall which we can use. The network firewall basically we are using for a particular organization, where the network is been there for sharing all the information internally or outside. So basically there we are using a network based firewall, and host based firewall we can use at home also for a particular user. So this is what the basic things are. Now these are the different criteria, or the we can say parameters, where network based firewalls and host based firewalls have a difference on it. Now if it is not visible clearly, then you can just see the key points parameters, and you can understand by your itself also. Like first of all the terminology, first of all the first parameter is terminology. That means network means in the common network, internal network or the outside network. So basically the traffic analysis which is done in network is known as network based firewall. Host means at a particular machine itself. So the particular machine incoming packets and outgoing packets which is analyzed is known as a host based firewall. Now we have placements where we can place it. So basically when we are using network based firewall, it is used in a particular organization at a particular border where you have a use of it. And host based means at a inside the particular PC itself, because it's for a personal use. Then we have mobility, as we know that it is a hardware based. As you know, functionality, as you can know that, so network based is basically it is at a network level, and host based it is particularly at host level. And if I'm talking about the hardware, then basically network based firewall is a hardware based, and host based firewall is a software based, because we are installing a software in middle it. Now whenever we are talking about the network and mobility means movable. So as we know that it is a hardware based, so it cannot be moved. Once it is placed, it is placed. It cannot be moved here and there whenever we want. And host based firewall, as it is installed in the PC itself, so PC can be moved here and there. So this is what the mobility part is. Then we have scalability, where we can we can scale it, because it depends on the bandwidth of the network where we are using it, where we are defining it for a particular organization. We can increase or we can decrease it. But with respect to host based, we have initially we have installed, that means it is done. We cannot increase or decrease with respect to changing environment. So this is what this scalability is. With respect to maintenance, network based firewalls requires manpower also, because it's a hardware, and it requires high maintenance. But with respect to host based, it is particular for a particular PC itself, so it requires low maintenance. Now, but if we are comparing the maintenance with the cost will be, but of course lesser in network based firewall, but it will be higher in host based firewall. So this is what the basic difference between these two, that is network based firewall and host based firewall. Now whenever we are talking about the network based firewall, it is always compared with the host based, because the hardware part and the software part. So this is what the basic difference is. Now this is what the differences are. Now we'll move forward to the technology, that the software that we are going to study in network based firewall. We are having pfSense as a firewall itself. It can be used as a router that is built on the free BSD system. Now pfSense is a free firewall and a router that can be placed at both home networks also, and large enterprise enterprise environments as well. Now with respect to that, the open source firewall is installed locally on a physical machine or on a big virtual machine, which will be an machine which is connected between both the ends. So a pfSense is a software where users can edit the settings through a web-based interface, and making it very easy for the typical home user or a network admin to set up. So basically pfSense can be used at network level also, in organization also, and in a host based also. Now with respect to that, it was released in 2004 and remains a free and open source program. Also, however, the company behind the product also provides a wide range of enterprise solutions as well. The main benefits of pfSense is the continual support. It provides continual support. Once it is started, it provides continuously till we are stopping it for the firewall to end. So this is what the main benefit is this software receives regular updates and also supports from the development team. So pfSense is the technology where we are using it. Now based on the package system for expandability, pfSense can perform a multitude of a network and security operations such as routing and firewalling. Then we have load balancing. Then we have proxy also. We can use as a proxy. We can use as an open VPN, that is virtual private networks. Then site-to-site VPNs. Then blocking of IP addresses based on threat intelligence feeds, IP reputation threat sources, etc. So basically, when we talk about the pfSense, it does these many operations in to have a use of it, and we can use in such of the operation. So it's a software module which does all these things. So here, as you can see, this software looks whenever it is installed in your system, it will look like that. It has these many functions where you can regulate it with respect to your settings. So basically, it has many of the options available, like allowed, not allowed, proxy settings or not, or the things which are allowed will be bifurcated in a line where you can have a tick mark on it and you can allow it. So this is what the software firewall in the pfSense is, which looks like this. So this is what the pfSense firewall is. Now, the last part that we are going to complete in this session is advantages of network firewall. Now, advantages means how many things that a network firewall provides. First of all, versatility. Now, versatility means the ability to consistently upgrade and adapt to your network security in real time, which provides a lot of flexibility and versatility to your IT team. Whenever we are talking about the advantages, it should provide versatility, as it should be able to consistently upgrade and adapt the network settings which you are providing it. So basically, this is the feature that is provided by the network firewall. We have intelligence port control. Now, the network firewalls go above and beyond the classic single layer port approach of the traditional solutions, because whenever we are talking about single layer, it is being scanned at a particular single layer where all the things are not being covered. So basically, when we talk about the advantage, then the advantage is provided as it is above one layer, which is also known as intelligence port control. It controls the port-to-port connections between the two of these systems. So this is what the advantage is. The third advantage that it provides is simple infrastructure. So basically, simple infrastructure means it is one of the top advantages of NGFWs, which is the simplicity of the infrastructure. Now, this provides a simple infrastructure where we can have a use at a very ease form, and we can have a usage also. So this is what the different advantages where the network firewall provides it. Also, it is having a facility of updated threat protection. So basically, historically, the businesses needed independent firewalls. It needed antiviruses, ransomware protections, and also intrusion detection systems, which will protect their system in order to have their data protected. So this is what it has, that is updated threat protection, which will update itself the threat which are already there into the system and which is also changing. So basically, it adapts to that environment and it will detect the threat also which is coming to your system, so that your data is protected. Then we have consistent network speed. Okay, so as mentioned, traditional firewalls can bog down your systems more and more as you increase the breadth of your protection. So basically, when we talk about the protections as well, it gives the consistent network speed, which is replacing the traditional firewalls, which blocks your systems more and more as you increase the breadth of your protection. So basically, when you are providing many softwares into your system in order to protect your data, so that will hinder your security terms. So this is what we have. Whenever we are talking about the network-based firewalls and when we are talking about the host-based firewalls, we have already seen the many of the differences, and both the firewalls protects your data, but host is always protecting the data at a particular PC. But when we are talking about a particular network, which is provided in a network, in an organization, so organization has all the terms which it uses for its security, for its privacy, for its particular rule set which is defined. So we can use that rule set also to define our data security to our data also. So this is what the different parameters which are also already there in order to have network firewall or in order to have a host page. Now, depending on the privacy, depending on the security, and depending on the circumstances, on the situation, the based we are using the different types of firewalls. So this is what we have studied about here. In this session, we have studied network based firewalls, and in that the difference between the network based firewalls and the host based firewalls. Also in network based firewalls we have studied about the software which we have studied. So this is what the thing is, and pfSense we have studied in this session, and here the next technologies that in network based firewalls we have will be studying in the next session. Thank you.